I'm starting to feel subscription fatigue. With every company under the sun moving to the subscription model, it's getting a little ridiculous. We have streaming services, meal prep subscription, wellness subscriptions, music streaming, default subscriptions, budgeting subscriptions. We even have subscriptions for your cars now. You have to pay to use your heated seats. People are paying more for subscriptions now than ever before, all while the cost of those basic services keeps rising. The monthly total is quietly getting out of control. You know, I need a subscription just to use my damn printer. Can you believe that? I need a monthly payment just to use my printer. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of these services are really useful and cool. I like them. I use a lot of them, but it's getting the point where you have to really weigh the value of what you're getting into before signing up. In today's video, we're going to talk about why all these companies are moving to the subscription model, how people are feeling about continuously stacking these services, and exactly how the costs keep rising. We'll also talk about some pretty stupid subscriptions and even some huge lawsuits that involve making it extremely hard to cancel your subscription. All that and more, but before we get started, you might as well get one more subscription. Subscribe down below. That one is actually free and it really helps the channel. I put in a lot of work in these videos and it really does help. So thank you. Now, why are these companies moving to the subscription model? Well, a big factor is that they get constant and predictable revenue streams. An easy example of this is Microsoft. They introduced Microsoft 365 in 2013 as an easy subscription service that you pay for instead of forking out a hefty one-time sum. This creates a lower barrier of entry for the consumer, and you get all the upgrades as they come out when you subscribe instead of running Excel 2009 for a decade. This provided Microsoft easily trackable and predictable revenue sources that eventually surpassed the one-time purchase in revenue around 2017. This shift increased the LTV, or the consumer lifetime value of the products. When you lock in a customer, you have them for life instead of just a one-time purchase. Once you pay the subscription for a year, you're not going to all of a sudden switch to buying the one-time purchase after that. You're just going to keep re-upping your subscription because it's easy and you're going to move about your day. Netflix was also one of the leaders in this movement. They started offering subscription-based snail mail DVD rentals, then transitioned to the streaming platform we all know in 2007.
You know what I'm sick of?
What?
Subscription services for everything.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of them. I'm tired. Like, it started with streaming services and it seemed like a good idea, right? It was like, okay, cool. Instead of buying DVDs, I can just pay X dollars a month and I can get all these shows. But now they're starting to take away the shows and there's 900 subscription services for things.
Yeah.
For all these different streaming channels.
So now that the barrier to entry is so low, companies fork out a lot of advertising and deals just to get you in the door. And once they have you, they can start rising the costs slowly. It's like the boiling frog story, where the frog is in like a cooking pot and the water's nice and warm. It's starting to heat up and it feels good at first. But then when it starts to boil, it's too late. You incrementally accumulate more and more subscriptions until the water is boiling and you're paying $300 a month. So this leads me to the rising costs. If it isn't enough that you have 15 subscriptions, once they have you paying monthly, they can just raise the price incrementally. You know, I get emails all the time like, hey, your subscription is gonna be $2 more. Cool? Cool. Because we're gonna do the same thing in 6 months. It's like death by a thousand cuts. You accumulate some services and they slowly start creeping up, cutting into your monthly expenses. So let's take a look at this graph. You have Disney Plus going from $7.99 in 2021 to $18.90. That is insane. Like, I actually didn't realize it was that much. And you had Hulu going from $12.99 to $18.99. Now, those two you can bundle together, but still, like, those individually are increasing at an insane pace. Same thing with Netflix in 2019. It was $12.99. Now, $17.99. And Apple TV was just $5.99 in 2019. Now they're getting bigger and better movies. They have some pretty good shows on there. I'm not going to lie. But it's now $12.99. So as these are all slowly creeping up, so is your monthly expenses for all these services. You know, we talked about the Disney Plus and Hulu, and those actually offer bundle services that a lot of these places do. They have Disney Plus, Hulu, and and ESPN Plus in a whole bundle. As a whole, it's cheaper if you just bought them individually, but it leaves room for things that you don't even use. So another new tactic companies are using to try to get more people to sign up is offering cheaper options, which isn't a bad thing. Netflix has an ad tier that's cheaper than all the other, and I'm kind of compared to like what fast food companies are doing these days, where McDonald's trying to bring back the value-centric meals because revenue's slowing down, people aren't buying as much. So it's kind of similar to that ideal. They offer these lower tiers so you can get in, and they try to upsell you later on the like crazy more premium choices. So that's how they get you in. But let's talk about some crazy subscriptions that you honestly cannot believe. I mean, we've been over the normal stuff, Netflix, Microsoft 360, Amazon Prime. But what about the really stupid ones? One of the biggest offenders of this was BMW. They started paywalling basic features behind a subscription. Those heated seats you love in the winter, you're going to have to start forking out $18 a month just to use them. You're already overpaying for the car, fine. But in order to use the features you paid for, you're going to have to pay even more monthly for stuff already in the car. They were met with major pushback and have since retracted the services. Now, another company is Toyota. Unfortunately, the beloved Toyota, in a lot of their vehicles now, you can pay up to $600 a year in subscription fees for things like remote start and some of the music services.
Well, everything's a subscription nowadays, so it shouldn't be too surprising that cars are now wanting a subscription as well. And after a year, Toyota expires some of the vehicle functions. So what are those functions? Well, probably the biggest thing that expires after a year is remote start via the Toyota app. So you used to be able to, from anywhere, open the app and remote start your vehicle to get it cooled down. That's no longer a thing after a year. You also lose the digital key functionality, so you have to take your keys everywhere with you. You can no longer use your watch or your phone. Another big thing that expired is our navigation. Despite us buying the high-end XSE trim level with the big screen, when we tab to the navigation menu, guess what? It's now expired, and if I hit get started, all it wants to do is sell me this subscription. So how much is the subscription? Well, $15 a month is the entry-level price. If you want the app functionality with things like navigation, which I feel like we already paid for. Now, if you want additional things like Apple Music to be able to function inside the car natively, that's $25 a month. And then if you want Wi-Fi on top of that, that's an additional $25 a month. So yes, you can spend $50 a month on this Camry in subscriptions, $600 a year.
Don't do it, Toyota. Keep your name sacred. Don't get tied into that. Now, this one takes the cake for the craziest subscription. Samsung now has refrigerators that you can get a subscription where the fridge's Family Hub screen shows ads while in idle. So they have options where you pay more for ad-free viewing or unlocking premium features. You're going to get some like targeted ads that you don't want your family to see, like popping up on the fridge, like, whoa, people are going to get in trouble, I swear. But they are just testing this stuff. It's like a trial run. So we're going to see how it does. Now, I don't know who would sign up for that, to be honest. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like the BMW thing. Like, I don't want to see ads in my kitchen. But what about when you're already in a subscription and you want to cancel? Well, there's actually been some big movements and big lawsuits with companies like Adobe getting sued by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, for basically making canceling their subscription extremely difficult with hidden cancellation fees. It kind of reminds me of like canceling gym memberships where they literally like block the door until you re-up on their membership.
Hey, how's it going? Cool. I just wanted to cancel my gym membership.
Why?
Because I'm moving. I'm moving soon.
Do you want to move?
Yeah.
Why do you want to move?
Now, this lawsuit is still going on after Adobe tried dismissing the case, but the court ordered the lawsuit to proceed. So I'm curious what's going to happen with that case because it's still ongoing and it might be ongoing for a while. Okay, so now we've talked about all the dynamics surrounding the new subscription economy. So now what? Well, since every company has a service, now you have to really weigh what's worth it to you because a lot of these companies actually do have tremendous value for people. Obviously, avoid the subscription you don't use. That's easy. But you also need to keep track of the free trials you sign up for and forget about later. That's like a lot of these companies just like have a free trial to get you in the door and then hope people just forget. And then you're paying on a service that you have for a year and then you just have never used it. That's like A+ to them. They want that. So the point is to find stuff you really like and you use a lot and cut out the stuff you don't need. A good example is something like Spotify, a decently cheap subscription that people use hours a day. Some of these Spotify wrap-ups are insane. Like people are using that like 5-6 hours a day. But in that case, it's obviously worth it. I like YouTube Premium. There are no ads, which is insanely nice, and the ability to lock my phone, like with playing the video still, is definitely worth it to me. And those things might not be worth it to somebody else. You can use something like Rocket Money to see all your expenses, including recurring subscriptions, and yes, they also have a subscription. It's kind of ironic, but if it helps you budget properly and cut out all the unwanted stuff, then I think it's worth it. So after this, go look at all your subscriptions, see which ones you plan on cutting by the end of the year, and let me know in the comments which subscriptions you really like and use all the time, and which ones you're gonna plan on canceling, if any. So that's it. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to subscribe. Now, I might do a follow-up on this one just because there's so many. I mean, there's like the Ring cams, and maybe I can dive a little bit more on like Amazon Prime, like in Costco, like these default subscriptions. So if you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe because those could be coming out later. But as always, have a nice day.